I want to ask you a question as a leader. When your employees go home at the end of the day, are they actually off work, or do they still feel connected to work because we're continuing to communicate with them? And I'm not necessarily talking about the leader who intentionally expects everyone to work all hours of the day and the night. I think this can happen with really good leaders who simply have a lot going on. Because if you're like me, your brain doesn't necessarily shut off when the workday ends. You might be sitting at home and suddenly remember something you forgot to tell someone. You might think of a great idea at 9 o'clock at night. You might realize something needs to change for tomorrow. And because my phone is always right there, it's easy for me to send the text, send the email, send the message. And in our minds, we're thinking, I'm sending this now so I don't forget. They can deal with it tomorrow. But here's what I've learned. Even if you don't expect a response, you've still interrupted their personal time. The second that message pops up on their phone, they're thinking about work again. Maybe they're eating dinner with their family. Maybe they're watching a movie. Perhaps they're at their child's baseball game. Maybe they're finally sitting down after a long day, and suddenly their mind is back at work. They may start thinking about how they're going to respond. They may start thinking about what they need to do tomorrow. They may wonder if you expect them to take care of this tonight. And so as leaders, I think we need to become more intentional about protecting our team's personal time, because their time at home belongs to them. One of the easiest things we can do is use the tools that are already available to us. If you're working late and you remember something you need to communicate, write the email. Get it out of your head. But instead of hitting send, schedule it. Most email platforms allow you to schedule an email to arrive the next morning. You can write that email at 10:30 at night and have it delivered at 8 the next morning. You haven't forgotten anything. You've taken care of what you needed to take care of, but you haven't transferred that thought to someone else's evening. And I think it's an important distinction. Your urgency doesn't automatically have to become someone else's urgency. Another thing that works really well for me is keeping notes. If something pops into my head at night, I can put it into the notes app on my phone. You can even have a note for each person on your team. Then when you think, oh, I need to ask her about that, put it under her name. I need to remember to tell him about this, put that under his name. Then when you're back at work, you have everything you wanted to remember without sending 5 different messages throughout the evening. You could do the exact same thing with a small notebook. Keep it beside your bed. Keep it in your bag. Keep it wherever your best ideas seem to find you. Write this thought down. The goal isn't to make your brain stop working when you leave work. Some of us probably couldn't do that if we tried. The goal is to recognize that because your brain is still working, that doesn't mean everyone else's needs to be too. And there's another side to this that I think leaders sometimes miss. When you're constantly sending emails at 10 o'clock at night or 5 o'clock in the morning, you're communicating something whether you intend to or not. Your team may begin to think, is this what I'm supposed to be doing too? Is this what commitment here looks like? Am I supposed to be available at all the time? And that's how a culture of constant availability can develop without a leader ever actually saying, I expect you to work after hours. Your habits can set expectations just as much as your words do. Of course, there are going to be exceptions. There are emergencies. There are jobs where people are on call. There are situations that genuinely cannot wait till tomorrow. But everything can't be an emergency. And if something can wait until tomorrow, let it wait until tomorrow. I think one of the greatest gifts you can give people you lead is the ability to truly leave work. Let them go home. Let them have dinner with their family. Let them go to their children's ball games. Let them sit on their porch. Let them have an evening where their job doesn't follow them around through the phone in their pocket. Because we talk a lot about work-life balance, but leaders have a tremendous amount of influence over whether that actually happens. So here's a question I think every leader should ask themselves. Does my team know when they leave work, they're allowed to actually leave work? Not because their work isn't important, but because their life outside of work is also important. Protect your people's personal time. Write the note, schedule the email, save the text for tomorrow. Unless it's truly important and cannot wait, do not bother them while they're at home. That's taking care of your people, and that's a part of leading well. Have a good day on purpose.